You can see my screen, no?
Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. Asma. So good morning, everyone. So today we will look into the neuron simulation software. So this is a nerve modeling and simulation program, and it allows us to create complex nerve models by connecting multiple one-dimensional sections together to form arbitrary neuron morphologies. So it allows us to insert multiple membrane properties into these sections, and we will be also be able to model the channels, synapses, and ionic concentrations. So now let us start with the basic idea of the computational neuroscience. So, so the goal of computational neuroscience is to explain in computational terms how the brain generate behavior. So what computational neuroscience does is that it provides us the tools and methods for characterizing what the nervous system do and how they function, and then why they operate in a particular way. So accordingly, the models can be classified into different types, primarily three types: the what models, how model, and why models. So what models are descriptive models, how models are mechanistic models, and why models are interpretive models. So this is a brief description of that. We will not go into details of this one because our aim is to cover the neuron simulation tool. So just to give a background on the tool about motivation behind developing this tool, I'm just covering this PPT. So this is what descriptive models of the brain does. So how do the neurons respond to an external stimuli, and how do we describe that quantitatively with a neural encoding model? So that is what the descriptive model is all about. And the mechanistic model, how can we simulate that behavior of a single neuron on a computer? And interpretive is the Y models, and it covers the computational principles underlying the operation. So this is the mechanistic model highlight. We are highlighting it, how we can simulate the behavior of a single neuron on a computer. So that we will look into it into more details. So these are the references for the neuron simulator. Michael Hines and colleagues have done a lot of work in developing this simulation tool. So there is a book also available, the Neuron book by uh, Carnevale and Michael Hines, that is available. So this is the idea behind the neuron. We call it a step towards in infinity. Let us look at some examples. So this is it in a nutshell. We have a biophysical system, conceptual model, and a computational model. The biophysical model consists of all the ionic exchanges, synaptic transmissions, all these things, whatever from a molecular point of view that is present inside the brain. The conceptual model is simplification of that particular processes in the brain to a understandable phenomena. Like we saw the communication in the neuron communication and the communication inside the neuron, the sodium potassium channel, ion propagations and all, how it was conceptualized using an electrical terminology, using resistors and capacitance. So that is the conceptual model, and the computational model representing that in terms of equations and writing a computer program. So all these three interwork together, and then so that we can fine tune the particular phenomena and how exactly we can replicate that biophysical phenomena using a computational model. So this is a detailed picture. So this is what is the biophysical system, and then we come to a conceptual model of writing, and this is using the conductance, the reverse potential, capacitance, and all. And then we have the computational model. So this is the neuron simulator can be used for the computational model. All the three interact together, and then so that we can come up with a very robust system where the computational model is exactly able to reproduce the biophysical system. So this is, let us see the idea behind the neuron, just cover the basic things that neuron can do. So it can replicate the biophysical and biochemical dynamics of the active membrane properties. Then it can also describe the dynamics of synaptic transmission. then it can model the electronic and the active signaling along the dendrites and the axon. So we can see the dendritic propagation, axonal propagation, etc., using the neuron simulator. So then the information processing in a simplified up to the realistic neuron models, that is possible. And then the internetworking of neurons and a different type of models like integrate and fire, all these things we can replicate. And so we can replicate the information processing in the neuronal microcircuits and also on the large network of interconnected neurons. So this is how the interface will look like. This is a neuron GUI that you're seeing on the screen. So we can enter the parameters here, and then this is the generator where the output is generated. So these are the various parameters, like you can see that filter parameters A1, K1, D1, K2, D2 and all. So these are the parameters. So now this is what, so this is, you can see that a recording from the subthalamic nucleus of the rat that is recorded here. So that is being that is replicated in the exact form that can be reconstructed using an oscilloscope, which can be, that pattern can be modeled using this particular neuron simulator. So and then also once that is getting reconstructed, we can also embed our code into the DSP board, which can be given as a feedback to using an external device to the brain itself, so that some corrective mechanisms can be taken care. So this is a path ahead, which is like similar kind of mechanisms happen in the brain stimulation and all, where we capture the oscillations inside the beta band oscillations, abnormal beta band oscillations is detected, then some corrective mechanisms can be applied to as a remedy to the symptoms of various neurodegenerative diseases. So now, why neuron? It is easy to use, and it is suited for computational models at many levels, like subcellular, cellular, network. So the three broad categories of the model. And we can also deal with experimental data. We replicate the experimental data. So it is quite accurate and efficient. And then it maintains a tree-shaped structure. So we saw in the cable structures in the last few classes how the dendritic propagation, the dendrites are connected to the soma. There will be a lot of dendrites interconnected to the soma. So that forms a tree-shaped structure, which can be pretty easily implemented using the neuron simulator. So these are to name a few, and so these examples, this and all we can skip for time being. This is the equations that you solve for Hodgkin-Huxley equations, and then how the electrical equivalent circuit is, the conceptual model is formed. This is the conceptual model again, so we will not go into the details of this one, which it is already covered while doing the Hodgkin-Huxley model. In fact, you have done an assignment on this one also. So now this is how the basic interface of the command look like, which we will see in the demo. So this is what we are seeing is that the first we have to create, when this is an axon, the picture is of an axon, and the diameter is defined, the length of the axon is defined, and where the current at t is equal to 1 millisecond, the current is stimulated at the current of 2000 nanoampere is simulated. You can see the command. So first we have to create an axon. This is the command, use create axon. Then if we want to modify a parameter, the parameters of the axon, then we need to first issue the command access axon. Access is the command to call that particular entity, and then once that is called, you can change the parameters. If you want to change the number of segments of the axon, you can use nsec command. The diam command is used to modify the diameter, and the length can be L is equal to can be used to modify the length. So these are the other parameters. We have passive and active properties. Passives are mostly the resistive and capacitive components. So here you can see that in the axon, we can insert the passive properties. And if you want to insert the active properties, you can insert the HH. HH is the Hodgkin-Huxley properties, where the sodium, potassium leakage or ionic components will be there. Then how to do a stimulation, that you can use the object variable. That stim, you can define an object variable, and then you can assign the height clamp. So, and 0.5 means it will be applying the current into the middle of that particular axon. And then we can also define the delay, duration, and amplitude, whatever is there. So in your assignment, you were using a pulse current as a stimulus. So if you want to define a pulse current, you need to give a amplitude, you need to give a duration, and then after how much delay the stimulus should be provided. All these things you can define here. So this is the summary of that particular configuration. You can create axon with the properties, insert the passive properties or insert the active properties, pass the current, start and stop, and then you can observe the output in the GUI. So this is how the GUI looks like. So this will be the graphical interface, and then you can use this command plot what you want to plot. So and then different kinds of plot are the voltage plot, current plot, and then shape plots. So the shape plot will give you the structure of that particular components, how they are interconnected, and then the voltage axis will be giving you the voltage versus time graph. So this is one such graph. So you can see that this is a voltage graph where the current is passed and the response is observed. So and now this is the axonal propagation. So how you see that while passing through the dendrite, the potential is diminished as the signal is passing through the dendrite. However, in axon, when it is propagating, the signal is maintained. So that is because of the nodes of Van intermittently. So where the signal is transmitted without losing much amplitude. So this is this is again the summary which you saw, and this is the soma, the axon, soma, and dendrites. So this is a typical connectivity of the neuron where the multiple input dendrites are there, soma is there, where the incoming signals from the dendrites are summed up together, and it is transmitted outside via the axons. And so in one of our cases, we will try to simulate the current to the soma itself. So you can see that this is the membrane potential and this is the shape plot. So this is the shape plot indicates that these are the three dendrites connected, one soma is there, and then an axon is there. So this is how. So I'll skip this one. This is not very. So this is again membrane potential. We can also observe the synaptic conductance, and that define the type of synapse. That here it is an exponential synapse. So when you are transmitting from one signal to another, one neuron to another, you can mention the mode of the synapse, whether it is exponential or whatever it is, you can mention it. And yeah, so you can also configure the synaptic transmission to be excitatory or inhibitory. So excitatory synapse is something that will enhance the signal, like it will give an additive effect when the signals are combined, whereas the inhibitory signal will have a diminishing effect. So this, which you already know about the excitatory and inhibitory synapses. So yeah, so this is a typical raster plot of the neurons and the at the time instances where it is firing. So the bottom left is the raster plot. So GABA, AMPA, everything is nothing but neurotransmitter. GABA is the inhibitory neurotransmitter. AMPA is the excitatory neurotransmitter. So this we can skip as of now. So this is a the presynaptic connection to an integrate and fire neuron. So I'll skip this one and directly go into the okay, this is the histogram plot on the potential generated. So I'll skip this one. We'll cover the basic modeling approach using the neuron simulator. So again, for okay, references I had already given you in the start. Anyway, I'm recording the video so you can have a look. So to start a neuron simulator, you can install the neuron simulator from the Yale so neuron.yale.edu, you will be having the exe file for the neuron simulator available. You can download it in your computer and you can use it. But to start it, you can execute the exe file. So this is a command window, and then you have a graphical window available here. So in this graphical window, you can open, there are different types of plots available: voltage axis, current axis, state axis, shape plot, everything is there. So we can use the voltage axis. So the voltage plot will look something like that. Now let us start with it. Some basic commands. I will I will use a paint to the first let us first let us create a SOMA, and then we will define some attributes, and then we can have a current, the stimulus that is presented to the SOMA. So first let us start step by step how to create a SOMA. So you can use the create command. To create any component, you can use a create command, and then you can say what you want to create. You can create SOMA. Yes, SOMA is created. And now you can assign the parameters. So what all parameters are there? Number of segments for the SOMA, we'll keep it 1. And then the diameter of the SOMA, what all parameters we can define for the SOMA. So everything can be there. Objects can be called using the dot operator. Also, I'm just configuring the parameters for a rat subthalamic nucleus. So, and the length of we can define it. The axial resistance. If you want to see some intermediate properties of the SOMA, we can just use the print command. I want to display the diameter. I just wanted to call that particular attribute, and then it will be displayed. Now, what if we want to see the complete properties of the SOMA? So that we can just call, you called up the print section, it will display all the parameters that are being configured here. So now this one was an element by element creation. We entered the properties one by one, like diameter, length, everything we entered one by one. So you can also use another way that will be much more easier. So you can use SOMA, you can use a curly bracket, and then you can type nsec is equal to 1. So this is like a structure method. You can then close the bracket. So this is created. Now, what we need to do is that we need to if we want to make some changes in the particular parameters, what we need to do is that we have to call the access command, because there will be, you not only create the soma, you will be also creating the dendrites, you will be creating an axon. So if you want to make a change in the soma, you just call access the soma, enter. Now you are in soma, and now you want to modify the parameter soma.l is equal to 18.9. You put yes. We can change it. Now let us also insert the, it's now the soma just is a dummy block. Now we want to introduce the other channel properties. What is that? The sodium ionic channels, the potassium ionic channels, leakage channels, all these things need to be configured. So we don't have to worry about the mathematics behind all these things. With the concepts of neuroscience, we can do the modeling in the basic concepts of neuroscience, we can do the modeling in the using the neuron. So you just need to call insert HH. So you are in soma, you insert HH. So now you can see that after that, all of you are following. No? So in case you have any doubts, please stop me. So you can see that after I inserted this command HH, the channel property, you can see that the maximum sodium conductance that is given here, then the potassium maximum potassium conductance is given here, the leakage conductance is given here, the reverse potential is given here. So all these things are automatically inserted into the soma. So that ENA is the ENA, EK and all are the reversal potential for the sodium, potassium, etc. Now, what is the next step? We want to observe we want to pass current into this soma. So that is what we were trying to do. So we were trying to inject the current. That is the first step that we were trying to do. So how to do it? You want to apply a stimulus. So before applying a stimulus, you want to define an variable. So that is object where stim. We'll give it a name stim. So now that stim variable need to be defined. So what is stim variable? So stim is equal to a new command. So we will new current clamp, and where we want to apply, let us apply at 0.5. So done. That is done. And now what are the properties of the stimulus? So which we already saw in the PPT. We already saw in the PPT. So that is let me slightly speed up because just since it was the introductory part, I was going slowly. So let me, and the duration we need to mention the delay. So that is 100 milliseconds. So duration, how long we have to give it? Let us again give it for 100 millisecond. Now what is the amplitude? So we gave it. And now let us, how long we want to record it. We need not want to record it indefinitely, right? So let us, the time stop, we will define it as 300. Let us give it, and then let us run it. So nothing came. As you can see that there was a line came here. So that is at the resting membrane potential of minus 60 volt. I don't know how much we can, yeah, this is the, you are able to see my screen properly because there are multiple windows and the figure window and all is very small. So I'm not very sure whether you are able to see all the windows.
We can see all.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you. So now let us slightly increase the current. Still not there. So I'm not sure why it is not raising. Let us try to increase the sodium conductance a bit. So here we can see it is 0.12. Let us try. Let us slightly double the value, probably, if it is helping. Yeah, you can see that as the sodium conductance increased, then an action potential was generated. So, okay, so but we will. Okay, I'm not sure why the X limit I'm not able to change, so I'll just figure it out later. So right now we have seen how to apply the current to the soma and then how the action potential is generated. So now let us come back to our diagram, and now next what we need to do is that let us connect some uh, dendrites to it. So let us call, in order to connect, we have to define some port in that particular soma. So let us call this as 0 and this as 1. So here the number of dendrites that we need to connect, that we can see. So if we want to connect 3 dendrites, we can use. So we can connect, and there will be many dendrites, so we can connect n number of dendrites. So an is better way to do this is that you define a variable. We can define it as 3. So now we just need to okay. So once again, we already have created the soma, so uh, never mind, we will just try to this is done. And now the dendrite. So dendrite, we can there are 3 dendrites configured. So in order to modifying the dendrites, what we need to do is that we have to go to dendrite, and then if you want to modify the first dendrite, give that value here, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. The indexing will start from 0. So dendrite 0, and then we can enter the parameters. So the dendrite parameter, the radius will be quite small, the diameter will be quite small. So we can also include the resistance property and the, so this is a passive signaling component. Passive properties are added here. And let us say we want to configure another dendrite. So we can also run this in a for loop, but since it is a starting, I am explaining it by doing it step by step. Otherwise, we can use a for loop and then 0 to that endent we can use, and then create all the properties. In that case, all the dendrites will have the same signaling properties. So we can access that particular dendrite and then make the modification. So we will replicate the behavior for dendrite 1. Let us slightly modify the lengths. If we want to make any changes, we can. We'll give it some new parameter. We'll change the diameter also. So the dendrite 1 is created. And let us create the all the dendrites are created now. Now the dendrites are created, individual properties. Now what we need to do in the next step, what should we do? We have to make, the final aim is that we want to make this structure.
Make the axon.
Not axons actually. So we have to connect it. No. So now these are standalone right now. The dendrite is standalone, soma is standalone. So we need to connect this one. So for that we need to use the connect command. Yes, you're right. Axon need to be done. So I'm just first finishing off with the dendrite and then coming to the axon. So first we will use the connect command, and then how to connect it. So the dendrite 0. So the first one, let us use dendrite 0, and then which end? So the proximal end of the dendrite. So that one, the distal end of the dendrite. So that one we will connect it with the incoming end of the soma. So these are the syntax that we need to follow. So it is connected. So now the second dendrite also we can connect it. So we just so this is connected, and you can connect the other dendrite also here. Now what we will do is that we will try to give a signal to the dendrite. Yes. Yes, sir.
Shouldn't it be a DN, like dendrite 0 of 1, because we are connecting the other end and we are connecting the front end of the soma to the back end of the dendrite, right? So shouldn't you connect 1 instead of 0? Like, I didn't get it. Why you are connecting 0 to 0?
No, this is the dendrite 0. Is this one is dendrite 0. This is dendrite 0. This is dendrite 1.
No, I'm talking about the ends, like dendrite zeros. You talked about 2 ends, right? 0 and 1.
It has 0 and 1. Yeah. So okay, that is a naming convention actually. So you mean to say that this will be 0 and this will be 1, right? That is what you are saying, right?
Yeah, that's how it looks
Right.
for the soma also. That's why I was confused.
Okay. I followed this convention because this is something user defined. So we connect either way. It is nothing physically, like it is not physically mapped, because this is logically we define, okay, this end we identify this end as 0 and this end as 1, and the SOMA we identify this end as 0 and this end as 1. So that is what I used. So we can use that way also, that we can have this as 0 and this as 1 of the dendrite.
So it doesn't matter because it is like finite with cable only. So any direction we pass the current, it will end up at the other ends. That's what's the logic, right, behind this.
Correct. So any direction, it will be like any direction in the sense, if you inject a current here, it will be going to this end.
Yeah, okay, sir, I understood.
Okay, now we will create a stimulus variable. So if you want to see that plots actually, so where we want to we so here we can pick up that particular what we want to plot. So here you can see what plot what. So here you can plot dendrite, and then which point you want. So we can give at different points. Let us say 0.9. So one dendrite at 0.9 is created, and then if you want to plot at another point in the dendrite. So we can create at 0.5. So that is again created. And then let us say we want to three different points in the dendrite. We can observe the voltage, and then we can also observe the voltage in the soma. Okay, this is already there actually. V.5 is already there. So now we can, this is, now we can also, due to differentiate it, we can just we can pick up the color vector. So you can use the color brush, and then so this one you can give, and then you can yeah, so this is done. Now what we need to do is that we need it is recording for 500. So this is at 0.5 that we have. Okay, this is the, because the stimulus we have given it as no, I haven't inserted that Hodgkin-Huxley properties into. Okay, so we can see that this is the current, that the black one is the current that is being applied at V.5, and as the signal is propagated along the dendrite, the voltage that is received at this particular soma is lesser. So it is around minus 25 to 30 millivolt, whereas the signal applied, the potential that was generated at the dendrite at 0.5 location was very much higher. Similarly, we can observe it for to see how the signal is, while propagating through the dendrite, how it is diminishing. We can observe the graph at various points, and then we can see how the signal, the attenuation is happening at various points in the signal. So I think I need to see why these three plots are not coming up, why this 0.5, 0.9 is not yet coming up. There may be a syntax error while when I configured. I need to check that one. So this is one thing that I wanted to cover, the signal propagation along the along the dendrite. So there is some mistake in the command somewhere. So otherwise all the three should have been visible. So I will quickly configure the axon also, and then we can so again, for creating an axon, we have to use the create command. Then we have to create axon. Then to change the properties of the axon, then you have to use access axon. And then we can set the properties of the axon. I will show. I will also show the code how to create interneuron communication. The couple of things I wanted to cover is that the temporal summation and the spatial summation. So I don't think I have time to cover that particular part. And also, what I will do is that I will quickly show you the code how to connect the how to use synapses, synaptic connections, and how to connect between two neurons. Before that, I'll just create an axon so that a neuron configuration part is complete. So you can see the shape plot. So this is what our configuration is. We have 3 dendrite, 1 soma, and then 1 axon that is connected. So this is the structural configuration what we did as of now. I will give you a video recording of this one. I have done it earlier, so I will give you a video recording of that one. I covered all the points there, so you can go through that video. Because due to shortage of time, I couldn't cover that temporal and spatial summation. So yeah, so I have the code in the notepad. So I will.
Excuse me, Sandeep.
Yes.
I joined a bit late. So, where are you writing this code?
I'm writing it in Neuron Simulator. So this is the GUI. This is the command window, and then this is the graphical. So this is where we can observe the plots, the graphical, and then this is the simulator window. So here is what I'm writing the code.
Can you repeat the name? Neuron Simulator, is it?
Neuron Simulator, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is how the interneuron communication is. Okay, so this is. I will give you this code also. So after the class. Okay,
Sandeep, Neuron Simulator works only in Windows, is it?
Yeah. This one will work only. This one is for Windows. I'll check whether that is available for the Linux.
Okay.
Linux as well. So.
Okay, please let me know. Thank you.
Who is? I am not seeing.
Oh, okay.
Whom I'm speaking to. Like.
I'm speaking to. You are speaking to Shogun.
Okay. So fine. You can send me an email actually. So if at all
Sandeep.
you are not saying that.
Okay, Sandeep. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do that.
So this is where I written the code for this neuron. So this is how, when you want to connect two neurons, so you can define a template. So we define a template called model cell. So in that template, you will configure all these parameters, that soma, dendrite, axon, and then this NC list that we created, because if at all we want to add a new parameter, we can append it to that particular list. So that is the advantage of using a list. So we saw how to create a soma, how to configure dendrite, how to configure the axon. So now we can just create in this particular template, we create all these things that we did it so far. We configured dendrites, soma, connectivity between them, and then the axons, and then how to connect. So you saw someone was asking me like the port 0 and 1. So towards the soma, the dendrite to soma, I'm using 0, and when I'm connecting to axon, I am giving connecting to the first port of the axon. So that is how I'm doing it. So there are 2 ports in the soma. One is 0 and one is 1. So 0 is connected towards the dendrite. So then here 0 is being used. That is just a convention. I can use the other way around also. So all these parameters you define, and then here is what you will be ending the template. So end model cell. So you end it here. So now when we want to call the other neuron, what we need to do is that how many number of neurons are there? You define that many number, the number you enter here. The number of model cells, then number of model cells is equal to the number you want to define. So here I have kept it as 2. So now we will create a variable cell, and then it is like an array cell of 2. So there are 2 elements. Now you run it in a loop and then assign the properties to each of the cell. So cell is nothing but a neuron. So each neuron you will be assigning that particular property. If you want to have a different configuration for the neuron, you have to create a different template. So here both the neurons are having the same properties and the same configuration. So that is why using the same model cell, and then the connectivity between the neuron. So connectivity between the neuron, you will be using like these are the connection between the dendrites and the particular neurons. For the cell 0, this is the connection. And this is the stimulus configurations that we need to do. And then when you want to connect the 2 neurons, then you need to make use of synaptic connection. So maximum number of synaptic connections available, that is the parameter that we will be giving. So how do you connect it? So that cell 1 soma is connected to, so this is an exponential synapse. That is why we are creating that synaptic 0 as an exponential synapse. Now cell 0 dot axon, and then you append to that particular list, and then you connect that synapse 0. The synapse 0 is that exponential synapse, and this is after how much is the threshold after which you want to generate an action potential. That is 0.2 minus 20, and this is the point at which you are connecting that particular synapse to. So this is how the 2 neurons are connected. So this is maybe I will record a video and then give it to you for this one, because this one the spatial summation and the temporal summation I couldn't cover it. I can record a video and then give it to you, or maybe sometime later next week or something like that, I will cover that part. So if any other doubts are there, then I can address it right now. So we are already running out of time.
Sandeep, so
Yeah,
I
so
just found a package called NeuronPy.
neuron. Okay, fine.
Python.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
That will do, right?
That will do. That should do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can install it and then let me know if it is working.
Yes.